Hey y'all, sorry about my hiatus. I've been out for 3 weeks. Got sick, vacation, and then I had to catch up with some stuff last week. So I'm sorry about that. But we're back and we're ready to roll. I have William Cook with me this week,
What's up? Thanks for having me on.
and we're gonna start with talking about for the NFL, maybe for like 1 minute, because the NFL last week was super boring because all our teams were on bye. Cookies and I's teams, the Colts and the Saints, and the Browns won, and the Titans won. But the Colts and the Saints both played on prime time, and they both won. But besides that, it was super boring. But the first real main topic we're going to talk about is college football. We're not going to do recap. It's too hard. I mean, Alabama lost, but besides that, it's way too hard to go through all that. We're going to talk about college football realignment because some crazy stuff has happened in the past couple weeks. We already knew that Oklahoma and Texas were both going to go to the SEC, and because of that, BYU from Independent, Central Florida, Cincinnati, and Houston, all from the American, go up to the Big 12, and then the Big 12 has 12 teams now. How do you feel about those 4 teams getting added and replacing the 2 main teams, Texas and Oklahoma?
I like it. I think BYU and UCF, it'll be some good competition. We'll see what they're made of. It'll be a little harder schedule for them year to year. They've had some good teams in the past. We'll see if that can continue in this, new and improved league.
Yeah, I would agree. I like the teams, like talent-wise. I love the BYU move. They should have been in the Mountain West or the Big 12 or the Pac-12 sooner rather than later, so I'm glad that finally happened. Central Florida and Cincinnati kind of, location-wise isn't very close. I personally think Cincinnati, if we were going to just do a whole total realignment of all the conferences, Cincinnati should have gone to the Big 10, and Central Florida should have gone to ACC. ACC kick out Maryland. Big 10 pick up Maryland like they used to. Or, I don't know. This was, I think. I like the Houston, and then I think SMU should have gone to the Big 12. But next, we're going to talk about the American and what they did to replace their 3 premier teams. They added UAB, who canceled their football program in 2013 and came back and won the Conference USA like 2 years in a row. So they've been doing really well. Plus, Birmingham is a great recruiting ground. Charlotte, they also didn't have a team for the longest time until a couple years ago. And the reason I think that they're doing solid, actually Hank Healy's uncle is the head coach for Charlotte, so that's kind of cool. But they added Charlotte because it's a big market city and also recruits. They added Florida Atlantic, another just big time Florida team. Like any Florida team you add is a great pickup. Plus recruiting grounds. Texas is recruiting grounds. Same with Rice and UTSA. And UTSA is undefeated. So I think those are some great-ass additions for the American. How do you feel about those, William?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's some more unknown schools that'll provide them a stage that, let the world know that they're good, or we'll see what they're made of when they're now joining American is a little more a real conference than the conferences they were in before, so it'll be fun. Same thing, UCF, it's how they kind of got to be able to promoted to go up. American was that staging ground for them, so we'll see if that can be the same thing for these other guys that are joining.
I really like that point. And I think he's talking about Rice when he's talking in North Texas. Two unknown teams that are going to make their name.
You just think Rice is some smart school. You don't realize they have a football program. So we'll see what's going on. We'll see them on TV now.
Exactly, and it's also a huge TV deal. Like that's why that's another reason they added Florida Atlantic, Charlotte, and UAB because TV deals. But Rice in particular was added to the American. we'll see how their football program is. They're okay in the past, but this may be a solid, like, just a very good move by the American, just how Vanderbilt is in the SEC, because Vanderbilt, great at baseball, solid at basketball. They have Scottie Pippen Jr. and amazing at women's bowling. But Rice is the academic school that's going to bring up the American. So, I mean, it's not just football. This is everything, academics and all other sports. So, if you think about it that way, it's a good move. Even though they don't seem like the best team, they could be amazing in the next couple of years, just like how Vandy was with James Franklin. So, we'll see how Rice does. But as of right now, they are in there for the academics. And they do have a good baseball team, so... Next is Conference USA. They lost all those teams, and they have yet to add anyone, so that's kind of rough. And so I don't know. We'll see if Conference USA survives, because when Oklahoma and Texas left for the SEC, I personally thought that the Big 12 was going to, I thought they were going to dissolve, in all honesty, and I thought all those teams were going to like head to the Pac-12 and head to the ACC, but they actually didn't, and I'm proud of the Big 12 and how they rebounded, but they had a lot of money, and Conference USA does not, so we'll see what they have. As of right now, they have Florida International, who's solid, and they're in Miami, so it's big market. So I'm guys maybe surprised that American didn't take them, but it is what it is. Louisiana Tech, they've been solid in years past. Marshall, who has the old Alabama running backs coach, Middle Tennessee State, UTEP, and Western Kentucky. So it's just a bunch of solid schools. They also did lose Southern Miss. They also did lose Southern Miss and Old Dominion to the Sun Belt, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So we'll see if they dissolve. I personally think, I don't know. I could see like Florida International. I don't know. We'll see. They may add Liberty. They may dissolve. What do you think, William?
I think they should dissolve. I think there's conferences that fit for all 6 of those to go to, so it's not like one will be left. I think they'll all be able to find a place it'll bring them more competition for sure than just those 6, because 6 isn't really a conference. I mean, that's not enough teams.
Yeah, so I did think if they kept Southern Miss and Old Dominion, that they would probably add Liberty, who's independent, and they have a good football program with Hugh Freeze, Ole Miss coach, and they would probably add James Madison, bring them up from the FCS. I think that would be a solid addition, but so I don't know. It's kind of a coin toss for me. I could see them adding 4 teams. I could see them going after the Sun Belt and stealing like one of those teams. We'll see. They may go after
App State. I don't know. App State could move up.
Possibly.
South Carolina.
Yeah, but as of right now, I think the Conference USA has always been above the Sun Belt.
I think
but
Sun Belt looks above it.
They got the
talent. I mean, look at that. That's crazy.
Exactly. Sun Belt right now is a better conference than the Conference USA. Conference USA, it's a dark hour for the conference. But we could see Liberty and James Madison and maybe 2 other FCS school programs go into the conference, but we could see them dissolve.
That would definitely bring some attention to them. Some FCS guys coming up. That'd be some attention to them for sure.
Absolutely,
I start watching for sure. James Madison, first D1 season. I mean,
exactly. Just like App State, after they were not a D1, or they were not a they were an FCS program when they beat Michigan in 2007, and they actually, fun fact, they've only had 2 ranked. They've only beat 2 ranked teams of all time, which is kind of wild to think because App State's been solid which was Michigan in 2007, and then when they beat Coastal Carolina last week, which is kind of crazy to think. But, yeah, I could see them going and picking teams off from the FCS, but I could also see them dissolve and Middle Tennessee State and Western Kentucky go to the MAC, and Louisiana Tech and Florida International even go to the American. I mean, there's a lot more could go on, so we'll see. Next, we got the Sun Belt. They didn't lose anyone. They actually added Southern Miss and Old Dominion, like I said. Right now, Coastal Carolina, who is they've had 2 losses in the past 2 years, and that was to App State and Liberty. Liberty's an independent. App State pulled off an upset of the century. Coastal Carolina is America's team, like the Mullets last year. When did they knock off? Yeah, they knocked off BYU last year with the 2nd overall pick. Like that's just it's wild. And they're such an awesome school, fun school to watch and see. So I'm excited for them. And their coach, he's unfortunately probably going to leave this year because, I mean, he's been on fire and been doing shit that, not many programs can do.
Not many Sun Belt programs can do.
Exactly. App State, they had their coach leave like a couple years ago. He went up to a Power 5 conference. And Arkansas State has Butch Jones as their head coach, and then who's actually done a good job. Yep. Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Louisiana Monroe, the University of Louisiana, which has Billy Napier, which Louisiana's been on fire too. Billy Napier will probably maybe take the LSU job. We'll see. I don't know. He's staying in Louisiana. So, Billy Napier almost got a head coaching job last year, and he's been on fire last year, and he's been on fire the entire time he's been at Louisiana. Old Dominion's joining, Southern Miss is joining, south of Alabama, Texas State, and Troy are all in the Sun Belt. So, do you think the Sun Belt is done adding, or do you think that they could lose a team, or, there's a lot more play to go on?
I mean, they could lose. I don't think I see them losing anything. They might get a couple from the Conference USA if they dissolve. But I think it's interesting. It's a packed conference. There's definitely some good schools in there that year to year always find a way to. I don't know. It always feels like there's one upset win from the Sun Belt every year. So, depending on the team, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love the Sun Belt. I think they're such a fun conference. With App State, Coastal Carolina, Louisiana, God, it's so awesome. But there's more realignment up for discussion. The Pac-12 could add Boise State. If the Conference USA dissolves, if Boise State leaves for the Pac-12, yeah, I mean UTEP. Could University of Texas El Paso, could go to Mountain West. There's so much movement. I mean, you can never really predict these things. But enough with that for right now. We may talk about that in a couple weeks. But some great games this week. I'm excited. Actually, this is a recorded fact that this is the greatest Thursday night football game matchup of all time. For sure. Is the highest rated winning percentage in a game between two Thursday night opponents. 7-0 Arizona, 6-1 Packers, .923 winning percentage between those two, and it's the most since 1934, which is kind of crazy. I did not know that they had Thursday night games in 1934.
That's crazy.
It was probably like the undefeated Lions, which it was definitely that long ago when the last time they were undefeated. But this is probably the game of the week, and it just sucks that it's on Thursday night. I wish it was Sunday night football, which there is a good Sunday night football, or Monday night. And there's been
the Manning brothers to do that game.
Yeah,
Thursday night. That would be great.
That would have been awesome. And the Packers and Cardinals have so much playoff history. Like when I think it was Carlos Dansby before he went to the Browns sacked Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers kicked the ball up and Dansby picked it off and ran for a touchdown to win the game in overtime. And then the Cardinals beat the Packers again. The Packers beat the Cardinals again when Larry Fitzgerald ran all the way down the field. And that playoff game, God, there's so much history in this game. And I think history repeats itself. And I think the Cardinals will stay undefeated, go 8-0, and beat the Packers. It's going to be an insane game. I can't wait to watch it. Pistons on Thursday night. But holy shit, this is going to be an awesome game. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm taking the other way. I think Packers might pull it off. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's hard to bet against that man.
True.
It's crazy. He always finds a way to pull it off. Tunyon and Adams, all his cast are Lizard. All his cast are there. Somehow they figure it out.
Yeah. Interesting that you say Adams. We are not sure if Devontae Adams, because he has COVID right now, so we're not
sure. Play or not, but
exactly.
Do you see his stats though? Without Adams, he's
really?
It's crazy. It's like 17 touchdowns, 1 interception,
Jeez.
70.2% completion in games without Adams.
Man, I gotta look that up. That's insane.
Yeah.
So this might even be the game of the year so far.
Oh, and Aaron Jones. I mean, that's crazy too. I mean, they got a lot of talent.
And A.J. Dillon. If Aaron Jones ever went down, I mean, this game and then the Rams Bucks, and I think week 3 or week 4. These are the 2 games so far, games of the year. So I'm excited. And then now it's just all going to go downhill because I got super hyped up about the first game. Especially this game. The Falcons versus the Panthers. Woo! We're going to watch this. I actually do have Atlanta in this because, I don't know. Gut feeling, Kyle Pitts is going to win this game for Atlanta. Matt Ryan's going to have a good game. It's in Atlanta. Mike Davis hopefully will have a good game. I think Cordell Patterson's also overrated, so I don't think he's going to do anything. Panthers have been on a massive slide. I do believe in Sam Darnold, but right now I think he's going to be deterred, even though the Panthers did come out and say they're not trading for Deshaun Watson today, which that's another topic for another day. I do think that the Panthers will just kind of choke all around, and the Falcons will come up on top in a mediocre game. Who do you have?
Yeah, I think the Falcons will win. The Panthers have too many QB issues to work out. It's I just think the Falcons, they have enough weapons to get past they're both very mediocre, but I think the Falcons will pull it out.
Yeah, they got Calvin Ridley too, so they do have weapons. Next, I'm actually going to skip this game and wait until just in a bit. Bills, Dolphins, I think that's very, very clear, unless they literally trade for Deshaun Watson in the next 5 minutes and they get him ready and start for the Dolphins on Sunday. There's no chance the Dolphins are winning. They lost to the Jags in London. The Jags were on a 20-game losing streak. I do like Brian Flores. I do think he's a good coach and very, very smart, but I don't think Tua is the answer to Deshaun Watson. We'll have this discussion when the Dolphins trade for Deshaun Watson, and don't give up every single piece in every single draft pick for the next 5 years and every single piece that is good on their team. So I got Bills by a million.
Oh, yeah. Bills, even though they just lost to Titans, they're going to win by 30. Cover the spread by a lot.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Hammer the Bills. I mean, this on paper, this looks like a very stupid game. And but, man, the Bengals have been hot recently. and I kind of want them to lose, but I also kind of want them to win because I may be going to the Browns-Bengals game in 2 weeks in Cincinnati. So if the Bengals lose, then the ticket prices may go down, but if they win, it'll be even more of an exciting game. But they're playing the Jets, and the Jets are terrible. They have somehow beat the Titans. Titans beat they beat the freaking Bills and the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs aren't that good this year, but they beat both those teams, and they lost to the Jets. And I lost in Survivor because of that. So screw the Jets.
I did too.
Yeah, screw the Jets. Bengals are going to win by a lot.
Yeah, I think the Bengals win by a lot. I think it's fun. I want to see the Bengals be good, make a little playoff run this year. That'll be fun. It's crazy they're on top of the AFC right now.
It's insane. It just shows how much better the NFC is. It shows how much better the NFC is than the AFC. That a two-loss Bengals team is on top of the AFC. But yes, I do want to see the Bengals do well as long as they lose to the Browns twice a year. Yeah, they haven't been good since Andy Dalton was there and led them to the playoffs a couple of years. But they haven't won a playoff game since 1991. So we'll see if this is their year. This is a game that I very much anticipate. The Browns are playing the Steelers. It's a rematch of their playoff game. And, man, I'm excited because I have the score of that game, written on my door at home, 46-37. I'm pretty sure. And if I got that wrong, that's embarrassing because I look at that a lot. And because, the Browns haven't been in the playoffs since 2002, and it was just a very emotional game for me and my dad, and it was a great game, and now the Browns are playing the Steelers again, and they're going to beat their ass. The Steelers are not very good this year. Big Ben is a tree out there. He's thrown some balls, but he is immobile. I don't put him in a wheelchair already. The Browns are red hot, and they will beat the Steelers by a lot. Mr. Rapper here.
Yeah, I don't know there's any question about this. I mean, Big Ben needs to go into his announcer gig, whatever his next job in life will be. He's no longer an NFL quarterback. He looks like a freaking machine out there just throwing the balls. He can't move at all, so.
I would agree. Next game, this is probably the first upset I'm picking so far, and I'm actually picking the Lions over the Eagles. The Eagles have so many they're not feeding Miles Sanders the ball enough. They're looking to trade their former first-round pick and Andre Dillard. Another story for another day. The Lions put up a fight with the Rams. Dan Campbell is one of my favorite coaches in the NFL or just of all time. That dude is awesome. Fires you up. Biting kneecaps. Oh, God, I love that man. And he used to be the Saints tight ends coach, so shout out to him. But Penei Sewell, I think most of y'all saw that video of him just putting a fight with Aaron Donald. And I think the Lions are their team is awful. There's no game by that. But Penei Sewell is a light in that dark room, and I think they can turn it around. It sucks that they're so bad, and I'm cheering for them because I love Dan Campbell. But I have the Lions beating the Eagles because the Eagles are just in a mess right now, and the Lions are hungry for a win.
Yeah, I think I'm calling that upset too. I think the Eagles need to get their game plan worked out. They need to figure out what type of team they are, and they just seem all jumbled up. They don't know what they're doing. So I think Lions. Jared Goff needs to be competent in the backfield and in the pocket and make some good plays, not turn anything over, and then I think the Lions could pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, he said it perfectly. Next game, this is probably the fastest I'm going to talk. Rams play the Texans, one of the best teams in the league, versus one of the worst teams in the league. The Texans literally have to play two of the best teams 2 weeks in a row. They held their own with the Cardinals last week. But if you're starting any Rams players in fantasy, well, I mean, you're going to get yourself a treat because they are going to sauce on the Texans. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat them by 40. Right? Even though they're playing in Houston, they're going to sauce them up, and they're going to win by 40.
Yeah, I agree. I need a big game out of Cooper Kupp. So, yeah, I'm expecting a big game out of him. Maybe another 40-pointer. So
possibly against the Texans on how bad they are. 2 more noon games. This one, I had a really, really, really tough time deciding. It's 2 average/mediocre teams squaring off. The Niners and Trey Lance and the Bears and Justin Fields. I'm not sure. Do you know if Trey Lance is starting or if it's Jimmy G?
I think.
I
don't know yet. But.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Jimmy G's going to be back this week or not, but I really hope they're starting Trey Lance. If so, I mean, regardless if they're starting Trey Lance or not, the Bears are struggling, and they need to just bounce back. Matt Nagy needs to be fired. They need to, Khalil Mack's hurt, so he probably won't play, and he's literally almost their entire defense. Roquan Smith is solid, but I mean, you could call Jack Erickson, my boy that goes to Wisconsin and is a huge Bears fan, tell you about all the Bears' flaws, but I have the 49ers in this one. I think it's just going to be a snail match, just because it's just 2 teams that are just not looking good right now with 2 rookie quarterbacks. So, I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up game, so we'll see.
I think if Trey Lance starts, 49ers will win for sure.
What if Jimmy G starts?
I think if Jimmy G starts, it'll be a toss-up. I mean, I don't...
You think he's that bad?
He's not great. I mean, especially when he's in Melbourne right now with his ankle injury, I think.
I think you're right. Not sure, though.
I mean, watching him Sunday night, it was raining and it was bad conditions, but he had made some bad throws. I mean, yeah, it was bad. So we'll see. I don't know. The Bears need to just rebuild. They're holding on to this faint hope that they're still pretty good. It's like, no, you're not. You need to rebuild. And they need to commit to that rebuilding process. It's going to be a couple of years for sure. New coach. Need some draft picks.
New coach, one thing they need. Another thing they don't have is draft picks because they traded up for Justin Fields and gave up their first-round pick for this year. So the Giants may have a 2 high draft picks because everyone knows they're not going to be that good. So they may just be like the Eagles and have 2 top 10 draft picks. This is the game that everyone's been waiting for. I say this every week. And, the reason I put William on the show this specific week for this specific reason. The Titans play at the Colts noon on Halloween. I'm just going to give the floor, just like I did Skeeters when I did the show with him. I'm just going to let him talk first, and I'll talk last.
I think the Colts can pull it off. I mean, I'm a Colts fan. I'm a little biased, but I think they can. The defense, our secondary is awful, but that's fine. Our front 4 is getting better. 4 and 7, honestly, with Darius Leonard and Okereke and Buckner up front. All those. Kwity Paye, if he gets healthy, he's explosive off the line. Once he's healthy with his hamstring, he'll be really good. And hopefully we get Hurricane Dio back from Vandy. Hopefully his ACL heals, we can get him back. It'll be interesting. I don't know. Carson Wentz, he's number 1 QB rated quarterback right now.
Really?
On throws more than 15 yards, and he's up there for every other throw too. It's crazy. He has the same QB rating that he had that MVP season in Philly. So he's looking really good. Back for Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he's no Derrick Henry, but he's really good. He's really solid, explosive out of the backfield. And Michael Pittman on the wide receiver. I mean, we don't have a sec. T.Y. Hilton's pretty good. He's just getting old. He's inconsistent. But it's no Julio and A.J., but it's pretty good duo for sure.
I would like you to clarify what you were telling us earlier about Michael Pittman and Julio Jones comparison.
Yeah, so I originally said that Michael Pittman was better than Julio Jones.
You also told us that Michael Pittman was a top 5 receiver.
Yeah, he's not. Okay, he's not. And he's probably not better than Julio Jones, but he's pretty good. Julio's getting up there in age. He did have that one bounce off the helmet catch, and everyone's like, oh, he's so good. I mean, he's pretty good, but Michael Pittman he's just big, goes up and get balls, all the 50-50 balls. He's got it. It's crazy. I don't know if you watched Sunday night, but it was impressive for sure. I think probably safely top 15 wide receiver.
Yeah.
Maybe top 10.
That's
Maybe.
a stretch.
I think he is. And Julio's on his way down. Pittman's on his way up. That's how I'm going to say it. I don't know if he's eclipsed Julio yet, but it'll be pretty soon.
Okay. That's fair.
We do need some O-line work. Eric Fisher, oh my goodness, he's playing awful right now. I mean, it's so bad. We might need to trade for
Andre Dillard?
Yeah, Andre Dillard from the Eagles. I mean, we need someone. I mean, it's bad. Or Wentz is just going to keep on getting tackled and freaking spraying both his ankles and be immobile like Big Ben. So I'm glad we saw his elusiveness last week against the 49ers. We saw who he can be. So I think we're healthy-ish. Other than Julian Blackmon, it's tough. Tore the Achilles. He's out for the season. We have, what's his name? Alberto, I think, is our starting safety. It's bad. I mean, our safety and corners are bad.
Sandejo.
Yeah, Anderson Deo.
He was terrible at the Browns.
And Xavier Rhodes is all right. He's fine.
I like him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure.
What's your score prediction?
I think Colts 27-20.
Okay. That's fair. I obviously have to go the other way. I think Derrick Henry is just so much better. And Jonathan Taylor, well, not so much, but he is so much better than every single running back in the league. He's just another animal. I mean, he can break so many records this year. I do think Michael Pittman and Julio Jones is a closer comparison than what we think. If, in all honesty, Julio is getting up there in age. He is playing with a new team. Michael Pittman's young. So I do think Julio is still better, but it's closer than what people think. A.J. Brown is amazing. Their defense, I wish we had Ryan Skeeters here so he could elaborate. But I think the Titans it's going to be close. And it's very hard to beat a team twice, and we already know that the Titans beat the Colts earlier this year. So it is always hard to beat a team twice, especially when both teams are good.
And that was when Wentz was a freaking statue out there because his ankles were taped twice its size because he was spraining both ankles. So I think it's a new team. Titans don't know what they're about to face because they think they smacked them down last time. They'll be able to do a similar thing this time. I don't think that's going to happen. So.
Totally fair. I do think it's going to be very close. Plus, it's in Indy. And the Titans, we all know how...
And we didn't have Xavier Rhodes last time to cover an actual wide receiver. He's the only one that can actually cover a wide receiver. So him opposite of Isaiah Rodgers, we can have... Those are two solid corners that can hopefully somewhat stop Julio and AJ. So.
Yeah. I definitely agree. Plus, you don't really have to cover a tight end. Titans don't really have anyone. Colts have Mo Alley Cox.
Leonard and Okereke to
rush the passer
and stop Henry.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be a tight game. I do have the Titans winning just because Derrick Henry is just on another planet. Like, I swear, he is so good. But yeah, Titans corners are terrible. But T.Y. Hilton isn't much better. I mean, he's super old, and they should have never re-signed him. But
I hope we see Michael Stratton out there with the 7th round out of College of Charleston, I think, from the draft. He was solid in the preseason. He's another big dude like Pittman that can go out there and just go up for those balls against the awful Titans cornerbacks, who are probably even worse than Rhodes and Isaiah Rodgers for sure. So.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if all the Titans corners were healthy and all the Colts corners were healthy, I think the Titans would be better because they have Caleb Farley, Fulton, just a bunch of young guys, and then Jack Rabbit Jenkins, who's awful. I mean, cut his ass right now. And I do think Jack Rabbit covering Michael Pittman, because God knows, I mean, he has to cover him because we have no other guys. Pittman's going to have a big game, which is unfortunate. But it is going to be close. I have... Shit. And Rodrigo's out, so I have...
Michael Bagley, he's good. He's been solid.
He played for the Titans earlier, and he played terrible.
But
it's a revenge game.
So far, he's been good so far for the Colts.
True. But I think Rodrigo's better.
Yeah, but he's hurt. So.
I know. But just for that fact, Titans are winning 34-31. Randy Bullock hits 2 field goals. Michael Badley hits 1 and misses 1. And he misses a 51-yard field goal. Well, watch that be right. I mean, I'm just shooting for the stars, but...
we're going to win off of Jonathan Taylor's 70-yard run to the house. It's going to happen.
Not going to happen. All right. So I think that's the second game that we've disagreed on, but we've had a good discussion so far. Now on to the afternoon games. This is a game I'm very excited for, and I will be watching for 20 minutes because this game starts at 3:05, and the Saints game starts 20 minutes after that. And that is the Patriots-Chargers in L.A. I'm very excited for this. Mac Jones is on the up and up. He's playing really well. They did lose to the Saints a couple weeks ago because, Saints are superior. But the Chargers, they did nothing last week. They played awful against the Ravens, and I think the Ravens are frauds, in my opinion, but that just may be biased because I hate them. It's a tough game to pick because I really like the Patriots. I think they're a very good team, and I like Mac Jones a lot. But I do trust in the Chargers. Tough pick. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a game that you should definitely have on your second TV outside because you should be watching the Saints game. And that's exactly what I'm doing, but I'm picking the Chargers because, you know what? I think Justin Herbert's going to have a bounce-back game, and if he doesn't, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, well, I'm a Colts fan, so I can't ever pick the Patriots, so I'm doing Chargers too. I think there's just too much talent to not have a bounce-back week where Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, hopefully he's been really bad the last few weeks on fantasy. But he'll have a bounce-back week, and Austin Eckler's always productive. And I think Justin Herbert, he's still learning. He's learning how to bounce back from situations like that where you don't play your best, but I think they'll figure it out.
And fun fact, William also went to the Colts-Patriots game when the Deflategate happened. So give us a 30-second to 1 minute summary of that game, or just your experience in Foxborough.
Well, let's just say some of the Pats fans were not very nice. They didn't like the Colts fans sitting on the. We were in a sea of Patriots. It was weird. We were parked way away from the stadium in like a mud lot, and they had some weird tailgaters too. But it was sad. It was a rainy game. I would like to say I knew that he was deflating the balls I mean, he was, but there was something suspicious about how good he played in the rain. But, rip Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I love Andrew Luck.
He was still our QB, although Carson Wentz is good.
Pretty solid.
But we wouldn't have him if we still had Andrew Luck. It would have been I think it would have 2 more years of Andrew Luck, and we would have been really good. So
yeah, hot take. I do think Andrew Luck is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Yep.
And I think if he never got injured, just like Luke Kuechly, I think that he could have easily been a Hall of Famer. Easily, no matter if he won a Super Bowl or not, he would just be like,
damn. On track. I mean, he was. It was crazy.
Yeah, I'm very sad that he retired, and it sucks. I'm not a Colts fan, but I loved Andrew Luck. I bought William Andrew Luck jersey for Christmas, and I bought myself an Andrew Luck jersey for $20 or something. But I love that man, and I wish he was still playing because he should be a Hall of Famer one day. Sorry for that rant.
And he was one of the best non-trash talkers in the league. It was crazy. He'd get hit, and he'd be like, "Hey, nice hit, big man," and they'd be like, "What?"
Yeah, I love, and he was so nice too. He was just such a likable player, just like Drew Brees. That's why I like those two guys. Well, obviously Drew Brees is my favorite player of all time, but you already knew that. Boring game. A game they shouldn't be watching. Jags at Seattle. Jags are going to lose. Seattle's also not playing well. It's just an auto dub for Seattle. They play in Seattle. There's not much to say. It's just Geno Smith versus Trevor Lawrence. Could see Trevor Lawrence. I don't like him. I don't think he's that good, but I could see him pulling off an upset if Geno Smith plays god awful, which I don't know why they don't sign Cam Newton. I mean, if it depends how long Russell Wilson's out, but we'll see. I do think Seattle's going to win, though.
I think so, too. There's no discussion. Jags are awful. The Hawks aren't much better, but they are better. So we'll see. They need Russell Wilson. He runs that offense. Geno Smith is just not even coming close to what Russell Wilson did. So, but they'll still pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Jags, so the only team that can lose the Jags is the Dolphins. Next game is the Broncos playing Washington, the Redskins. And this is another toss-up game. I picked Washington to win, but I could totally see it's in Mile High. I could totally see Teddy Bridgewater coming in and playing really well. Jerry Jeudy, screw it. I'm picking the Broncos. Jerry Jeudy's back. Cortland Sutton's playing well. And I was offered a trade for Cortland Sutton this week, and I declined it because Jerry Jeudy's back, so he's going to play really well. And Washington defense isn't playing super, plus they have a ton of allegations going on. So we will see how well they play. It's just a game that you probably shouldn't be watching. But I don't know. It could be an interesting game, but I have Denver winning. Who do you have, William?
I think the Washington, the football team, might win. Tyler Heineke hasn't been that bad.
He's been very good.
He's been pretty good. Terry McLaurin's on their team. Scary Terry.
Or Samuel's back.
He's pretty solid. Yeah, Antonio Gibson's not bad. Running back, he's pretty good. And got Chase Young on the defense. I think it'll be interesting. I think they can pull it out for sure.
All right. I picked Washington at first for a reason. It's a toss-up game. So I don't know. I do think the Broncos are going to stop their slide, but I could also see Washington winning. So it's a good game. All right. Here is if the Saints lose on Monday, I will hear an earful from Carson Meyer because he's the worst trash talker.
Wow, breaking news. The Texans are sending Mark Ingram to the Saints.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's go. Oh, my God. Let's go, baby. Oh, shit, man. Oh, shit. This is a natural reaction because this happened 30 seconds ago. Holy shit. Oh, my God. I don't usually cuss on this. I'm sorry, but oh my God, Mark Ingram is literally oh my God, let's go! He's one of my favorite players of all time because he, and up at one point in my life, holy shit, oh my God. Little side note, the day Mark Ingram got drafted, it was 2011, so I was like 8 years old, 9 years old. And I was telling my dad, I was like, if Mark Ingram gets drafted by the Saints, it's going to be the best day of my life. Woke up in the morning, found out Mark Ingram got drafted 22nd overall out of Alabama to the Saints. Oh, my God. And it was the best day of my life at that point. I know exactly where I was and exactly where I was watching it. Oh, my God. That is awesome. Holy shit. Oh, my God. This is a natural reaction. You don't get to hear this anywhere else. That is amazing. So it looks like the Marlon Mack dreams of the Saints is done, but I'm so much more happier with this. I have 3 Mark Ingram jerseys, 2 28s, one at youth small, one at youth medium, and I have an adult medium Mark Ingram jersey that I bought right before he got left for Baltimore, just as a tributation to the awesomeness that he brought New Orleans, but he's fucking back. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. But that's a certified win. With that news coming in right now against the Bucs, screw you, Carson Meyer. The Saints are winning, and oh, my God, we beat them twice in the regular season. Last year, we already all know what happened in the playoffs. Jameis Winston is going to beat the hell out of the Buccaneers at home in New Orleans. Mark Ingram's going to have a great game. Alvin Kamara's going to have a great game. Those receivers suck, but Michael Thomas might be back. We may trade for a receiver before then, maybe Jameson Crowder. That video is going to come out soon. Oh, my God, I'm so excited. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That is awesome. Here you go, William. Just explain the game. Here.
I mean, I think
Let's go!
I think hate to be that guy, I think the Bucs are gonna. I mean, they're stacked.
That's fine.
They're stacked with talent. I hate Tom Brady, but they're stacked with talent. It's crazy. Mike Evans, all that. Their defense, it's crazy. But
that's totally fine. I'm just so pumped up right now. You have no idea. That is awesome. He's literally one of my favorite players of all time. He's now my favorite Saint again. Taysom Hill was. But, I mean, having 3 Mark Ingram jerseys, and I have 1 Taysom Hill jersey. I do love Will Lutz. I sent him a DM the other day. Didn't respond. Yeah, didn't open it. Sad. Because he's out for the season. But we have that kicker from Virginia Tech who got us the game winner last week. But I'm just so pumped up. That is awesome. Oh my God, that's awesome. Oh, my goodness. All right, I got to, tone it down because I don't know. But that you have no idea how happy I am right now. Next game is the Vikings at the Cowboys at the Vikings. This is really another good game plus another toss-up. God, that is so awesome. I think that the Vikings will pull it out. It's another toss-up, like I said. I could see the Cowboys winning. I could see Zeke having a good game. I don't know. I could see Dalvin Cook having a good game. My thoughts aren't straight right now. I have the Vikings winning in primetime Sunday Night Football. But it's going to be a good game. I'm definitely going to be tuning into this.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys. Is Dak injured? Is he still in?
Yeah, he's going to play. He's going to play.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are going to win. I think Diggs, the cornerback, he's so good this season.
He is so good.
I don't know, Michael Gallup, they got some good receivers.
Michael Gallup's out right now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's been out for a couple weeks. I don't think he's returning. Bad. No, all good. They have CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper and Ezekiel, who I don't think is great in the backfield. But, I think they'll pull it out. Vikings are. I mean, they're fun. But I look at them as an average team, maybe slightly above average. I think the Cowboys are going to pull it out. All right, now on to Monday night.
Monday night.
I think it'll. Chiefs are not looking great, but they got to pull it out against the Giants. I mean, Giants have injuries, and I think the Chiefs will pull it out. But Patrick Mahomes and company, I think they'll outpace the offense. It'll just be an offensive game because.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm getting texts flooded in that Mark Ingram got traded to the Saints. Oh, I can't wait I'm just going to watch that one part back just to hear my natural reaction because you don't really get that often. But Chiefs are going to win. I think it's pretty obvious. Giants aren't great. Chiefs aren't great. Chiefs need to make some moves. But during this deadline, we'll see if they trade for a running back or trade their backup lineman. Marlon Mack, possibly, because he's not going to the Saints anymore because they got Mark Ingram. Oh, my God. Yeah, Chiefs. It is a lousy Monday night game. I'd rather.
Colts Titans be Monday night.
Yeah, or
because Colts are going to win.
No, or the Packers and Cardinals be Monday night. They could trade Marlon Mack to the Cardinals. They only have Chase Edmonds, and they have. Never mind. They have Chase Edmonds and James Conner. But we'll see. Marlon Mack, well, that's another video. I'm going to talk about that. It'll probably be released after this, so maybe sometime this weekend. I'm excited to make that video. But, yeah, Chiefs are going to win. It's probably not going to watch it. Probably going to do something else. It's because Patrick Mahomes isn't playing that well. He has more touchdowns this year alone. More interceptions this year than the past 2 years combined. Kind of insane. But yeah, Chief.
Battle back. It might be next year though, I think.
Yeah. I think he'll battle back or better because his contract is insane, and if he sucks, the Chiefs are in a rumble. But everyone knows he's good. He's just having a bad year. Yep. We do need Kelsey to score a couple touchdowns. But, thank you, William. I appreciate you coming on the show. Sorry we're not doing face cam. It is just such a pain in the ass to do. I might just do this and put up pictures. I may just have a picture of Mark Ingram up the whole time. Because, man, that's awesome. And I love that I was on the Saints game when that trade got announced. That is awesome. I'm curious what we traded him. Hopefully it's like a 6th-round pick. But that is awesome. I'm so excited about that. And I know we disagreed on the Titans game, but that's something we're going to watch. And it's going to be a great game. And thank you, William, for coming on. Any last thoughts?
Colts to the Super Bowl. That's all I got to say.
Bold-ass take. But thank you, William. I appreciate you coming on.
Of course.
We'll see. I'll do a video tomorrow probably or in the next couple days about the trade deadline. One of my favorite days of the year. Hopefully it's not a dud like last year. Thanks, guys. Peace out. See you guys soon. Thanks.